How's it going, everyone? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United for a little live stream rant for you. I'm really pissed off and frustrated this morning, so I've got to get some stuff off me chest. I want to talk about that slab head. Now, I'm not actually talking about Harry Maguire, though we will talk about Maguire later in a moment in this video. I'm actually talking about that freaking concrete-brained slabhead wanker Woodward, who's incapable of bringing players into this great football club. I have no idea why. But where is the Maguire signing? Where is the Bruno Fernandes signing? Where are these signings that we so desperately need and everybody knows that we desperately need? Sure, we got Wan-Bissaka, we got Daniel James, great signings. Are we supposed to be salivating at the mouth over Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka? Great, I'm happy that we got them, but we need some freaking leaders, some quality leaders in there, man, that we've been crying out for years, especially at the back. We've needed a centre-back leader at the back there for about 8 freaking years, man. 8 freaking years, and we can't even negotiate a deal with Leicester City to sign Harry Maguire for £80 million, about 20 million nicker than he's actually more than he's actually worth. Because he's only really a £60 million player. So you're telling me our board and Ed Woodward cannot negotiate a deal with Leicester City for more money than he's worth for a player that nobody other than Manchester United actually seems to want? Do you know what I mean? It's not like you've got Milano and Inter and Real and all these clubs lining up to sign Harry Maguire. Nah, mate. It's just Manchester United. It's just us lads. And they're trying to bend us over the barrel for him. But, you know, we do need to get our man. We do need to sign the player. I don't understand what the hold-up is. You know, we've got Ed Woodward. Don't know what he's really doing. We need to get some sort of a director of football in there because I don't know what he's done over the last year. But we've been talking about this Maguire deal for about a year now. Now, the best part I can make of it is that what is he even doing with his time? How is he negotiating with them? Somebody over there must have a really, really sexy voice because he has just been pulling his plonker on the phone to Leicester City for the last year, apparently. And I don't understand why. I don't understand what the hold-up is. I don't understand why we can't sign Maguire. He's a player that seems to actually want to come to Manchester United. He'd relish the opportunity. There's not a lot of players that do want to come to us right now because we don't have Champions League football and shite like that. But the fact of the matter is we should actually be able to still bring players like Maguire into the club. It's just the incompetence we have upstairs in the people in charge that is the big problem I see at Manchester United. You can see it because we can't even get rid of the shit. We can't get rid of the stagnant mess that's been stinking up Manchester United for all these years. I'm talking about, you know, Smalling and Jones and Young and people like that, or obviously just aren't good enough. Obviously just not up to the standard of Manchester United. Who obviously, you know, should be playing for somebody like West Brom, Kettering Town, Aldershot. These are the sorts of levels that we're talking about for these lads. And unfortunately, we get lumbered with them because no other bastard's stupid enough to even pay the money to these players because they're just not worth it based on quality, based on value that you're getting back. So it's a freaking nightmare situation that we're in. We've got people upstairs who can't get rid of players. I mean, who wants to take Bruno Mars for 500k a week? Can you blame them? Who wants to take Alexis Sanchez for 500k a week? You'd be a complete freaking dum-dum, wouldn't you? He's just nowhere near good enough. It's plain to see. I mean, Bruno Fernandes is a player that I want to see Manchester United sign. Are we bidding for him? Are we not bidding for him? Are we bidding for him? We're not bidding. Just fucking bid for the man. Just get the deal done. Bring him in because he's a goal-scoring creative midfielder. Somebody that we're desperately crying out for at Manchester United. Paul Pogba evidently cannot do it week in, week out. He's world-class when he wants to be. He's also gash a lot of the other time. So I don't think he can do it. We absolutely need to get Bruno Fernandes in there. So I don't know what Edward was doing with these lack of bids and will he, won't he, and all this situation. I mean, at this rate, we are going to be left with a bunch of losers, a bunch of comedic jokers. We're going to be left with Laurel and Hardy at centre-back, Kevin Hart left-back, and Chris Tucker bullshitting in the centre of the park. That's basically what we're going to be left with at this stage. So I'm not happy with the state of Manchester United's squad. I'm not happy with the fact we haven't moved any of these tossers on. Lukaku's still lingering around. I know there's talk of him going to Inter. He's not actually gone yet, though, has he? We've not actually negotiated a successful deal with Inter for him. No. So what are our board doing? They're a nightmare. They can't get rid of players. They can't bring players in. Sure, we signed a couple of young up-and-comers, and I am happy about that. But seriously, the board need to take a big old look at themselves and make a few key decisions. I mean, the first one for me being sack the bloody lot of them. Sack them. Get rid. You know, there's a few of these players don't deserve to be representing Manchester United, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the board. Sack half of the bloody board because they're useless. Sack Woodward. What has that man actually done? He's useless at bringing players in and getting them out. We need a proper director of football who can do that, who can instigate deals, who can speak to old coaching staff, people that he knew, ex-players, all that sorts of stuff, and actually bring players into the club and get players out of the club as well, because that's something we struggle with hugely. Teams are not queuing up to sign our players because we've overpaid them all over the years. That's basically what it is anyway. Anyway, it feels good to have a bit of a rant and get this thing off my chest. We need 3 players, in my opinion, before the transfer window, before the start of the season. Do they not realize the season starts soon against Chelsea? We've got a game against Chelsea, first game of the season, fucking tough game. United need to really strengthen before then, because you can see we're going to struggle in certain areas. Yes, our youth players, I've actually been very happy with the youth players that have come through recently, that have shone recently. The youth has been doing it for United, and all of a sudden it looks like we've got a fantastic crop of young players coming through. But we need to add a couple of real seasoned players who have that experience, who have that extra quality, and leadership is the key word. To actually improve Manchester United and organise this back line. Because I'm telling you, even in the pre-season games that we've won and performed well, organisationally and defensively at the back, you know, there's a little bit in question. Bailey's just been injured. We've got Twanzebe, of course. Lindelof, I think, looks the best out of our defenders. But bloody Jones and Smalling do one. Nobody wants them around. But they are going to be here. They are going to be here because United are not prepared to go out there and strengthen. United are not prepared to move them on, to sell them, because we can't. Because nobody wants to pay the money for them that they are being paid currently. And also we've got somebody in charge, if transfers in and out, who just doesn't have a bloody clue what's going on, does he, Edward Wood? Freaking absolute joke, man. He's a waste man. Because I don't see any business going on. Anyway, everybody who's tuning in right now, thank you very much for stopping by on the live stream. Just a very quick video from me today. I haven't got much time, but I had to get on here and air my grievances about Manchester United's current transfer debacle. Because that's what it is, you know. It's a complete freaking debacle from the top down. Okay, we've signed a couple of players, but we haven't got rid of anybody. We haven't got rid of any of the shit. It's all still here, sucking money out of this great football club. Huge amounts, millions, paying millions a week out just on bloody Lukaku, Sanchez and Pogba. We're paying Jones and Smalling and Young and all these absolutely useless over the hill, never were on the hill players. Way too much money, and it's got to stop. We need to get them out of the club, even if we have to freaking pay some of their wages for a little while. That's what I'd rather than just get completely mugged off. Why not just mug ourselves off a little bit? Everybody who's tuning in right now, guys, thanks so much for stopping by on the live stream. Do us a favour, smash a like on this video, give it a share if you like. Hope you're enjoying my passion this morning. I'm feeling very, very angry is the word, because it's been too long. You know, I'm looking at other teams buying players and I'm thinking, hang on, we have signed a couple of players, don't get me wrong, but we haven't really put ourselves in much of a better position. Apart from Bissaka and James, we're still the same shit, minus Ander Herrera, that we had around the gaff last year, which didn't work and was nowhere near good enough. So what are we expecting by starting the season with that same squad? That's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is the definition of insanity, lads. We've gone insane. The board's gone insane. The team's gone insane. We're insane at the moment, Manchester United. It's absolutely piss poor, it really is. But there we go. We need some signings. I would like to see a winger come in, a top winger, especially if Martial's now going to be playing up more of an advanced number 9 type role, which I think he'd be good at. It makes sense to bolster our position in the winger area. Also, we do need a top quality centre-back, whether, I don't know, Maguire, get it done. If not, Alderweireld. There's other people out there, proven Premier League experience, we can get that will improve us overnight. A leader, an organiser. I think Maguire would be the best fit. It's a lot of money they're asking, but we need to just pay the money. Sometimes you have to pay a premium to get the player that you need. And unfortunately, there's not many players in that position that will come to us that we can afford and all that sort of stuff. So it makes a lot of sense to get Harry Maguire. And then, of course, Bruno Fernandes, top player. He's looked fantastic over for Sporting this last season. I think he scored over 20 goals for them. 20 freaking goals from midfield. So you're getting like a sort of Lampard rate goal scorer here. Hopefully, anyway, and obviously that creative spark in midfield. I think that would set us pretty well for the start of the season, but the problem is we haven't strengthened much. We've got not much time left. We're running out of time. We need to get Maguire, Fernandes in at the very bare minimum. What do you guys think about it? I'm going to go through the comments section now and just see what you guys think about it, of course. Thanks so much for stopping by on the live stream. Bunch of jokers. So, 7 Pikachu, how's it going? Shout out to you. Beats produced by CM says United move like slugs. We could certainly do with, giving an opportunity to some of these young, hungry players, absolutely. Red Tank comments, Maguire more overrated than Mourinho. Well, he is not an 80 million or a 90 million pound player, is he? Let's be real now. He's just not. I mean, if you look at how much we paid for Rio Ferdinand back in the day, at the time that was probably a comparable amount to pay, but you knew what you were getting with him. You knew you were getting a proper Rolls Royce of a defender, and that deal over the years and over his Manchester United career became very, very, very good value. Very cheap to get Rio Ferdinand at the club. You could be saying the same about Harry Maguire in 5 or 6 years' time, though. About 80 million and 90 million being not a lot of money for a player that's contributed a lot over the time. Only time will tell. He could come in and be a flop. He really could. That happens in football. I doubt it. I think he's got great leadership. I think he's got great fight and character. But it could happen. Maybe he gets a big injury. Who knows? There's lots of avenues that could go wrong. But we need a leader at the back there, 100%. I do think maybe he's a little bit overrated in terms of price, but in terms of actual ability, he's a good ball-playing defender. He's a big unit, good at defending set pieces, good at playing out from the back, good at blocking, good at tackling, all round. Yeah, he's no Virgil van Dijk. He's not the complete outfit. He's too bloody slow. You know, he's not as intelligent, but he is a very good slabhead defender who gets his noggin in the way of a boot or anything. So that's what I think about Harry Maguire. We need somebody like that. Plus, we can't really go out there and get your Sergio Ramoses or your Chiellinis or whoever, because they don't want to come to us because we don't have Champions League football, and we're in a very torrid time right now where we don't have the bloody, the confidence in the side. We don't know that we're challenging for things week in, week out. Red Tank 99 says, you tell him, pig. I will. I just did. Thomas, thank you very much there for your comment. Thomas McDonough says, so enjoying the summer, pig. I mean, I am enjoying the summer. It's very, very hot. As you can imagine, I'm wearing this hat indoors as well. I'm starting to sweat and melt. So it's not good. I'm doing my old Woodward impression. Andy1753 says, I feel your pain. I know it's pretty bad for United fans at the moment. Hopefully we can get Maguire and Fernandes in, but are we realistically going to do it, especially if we don't get rid of Lukaku or maybe Pogba and Sanchez, people like that? Will we even be allowed to spend the money? Stitmeister says, oh my, deadline day is the 8th, right? I do believe so. We don't have very long, do we? Tappy comments and says, this transfer window has been shocking. It's been an absolute freaking double daymare Phil Jones calamity. That's what it's been. I mean, sure, Wan-Bissaka's so excited for him. I think he can be United's right back for the next decade. I really do. I think he's a great signing. Daniel James, I'm not quite as impressed from what I've seen, but I still am impressed. I think he's a very good signing. He's younger. He's got less. He's not had the Premier League experience that Wan-Bissaka's had, so I'm not expecting him to be as far along in his career or his development. But I'll tell you what, against Spurs, he looked good. He's looked good for United in spells in the couple of short games that we've seen from him. So I'm happy about that signing too. But what I'm not happy about is the freaking lack of movement now for top quality players. Oi, Woodward, no! It's not a freaking acceptable transfer window to just get Wan-Bissaka and Daniel James. What about getting Bruno Fernandes and Harry Maguire in, you absolute freaking toad? That's what I would say. Oh. Darren Miller comments, we ain't signing Bruno or Pepe. Well, these are players that are being speculated about. This is another thing that I'm talking about. It's like there's all this speculation going on. Maguire, Fernandes, Pepe. It's just not happening for us, is it? Even the really realistic one, like Maguire, he wants to come. He's spoken in the media. He wants to leave. He's unhappy with Leicester about blocking, about not accepting a bit, all this stuff. And we still can't get the deal over the line. We've got a bunch of pissed up clowns in charge. Super chat from Alex Rincon says, morning, pig. Morning, Alex Rincon. Thank you very much for getting involved here with your super chat and comment. You absolute legend. Much appreciated you stopping by here. Just airing my grievances here, buddy. Just pissed off about Manchester United's lack of transfer movement, lack of getting a quality leader in, lack of getting a quality player in. Yeah, okay, we have got some in. But you know what I mean. React says, pig is the best. Oh, hang on. I've just clicked off the bloody comment. Pig is the best. I wish more people would go in like the pig. Thank you very much there. Stick a like on this video. Much appreciated. Thank you for the support and the confidence there. You're a legend. MP1 comments, I don't think we will sign more than one player. I think the board are sussing Ollie this season. Well, you make a good point. If we don't sell Lukaku, or possibly, because Pogba could still go. If, let's say, Real Madrid just go, well, we really want Pogba, let's put 160 mil bid in. United will probably accept it at this moment in time because it is a lot of money. But is it reliant on that? Is that the only way we're going to end up getting Bruno Fernandes? Is that the only way we're going to end up getting Harry Maguire? Is if Lukaku pisses off to Inter and maybe somebody else makes a movement? I think maybe you're right. Knowing the Glazers, knowing the board, yes, they spent some money here and there. Fact is, they bought the club with debt, and United are still in that debt years later, and then they haven't paid much of that debt off. So they're having a mare. They're just taking money out of the club. They don't really care. As long as it's ticking over, why do they really, really care? So I think they probably wouldn't back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think you're right. They're sussing him out. I don't know if they would back him just with a £150 million war chest without selling any players anyway. I know we haven't sold anyone yet, but I'm thinking this Lukaku deal will materialise, and I think they're going to give him the money from that deal to sign one of those players. So I think you're right, I do. We need to sign 2 players, but come the end of the window, I bet you we sign one of them. Probably will be Harry Maguire. The fans will probably be reasonably happy with that because it is a problem area for us that we have been crying out to strengthen for years. Oh. Stip says, another big problem, Alexis is still at the club. I know, well, he's going to be at the club for a very long time because, like I said earlier on, he's on 500 grand a week or somewhere in that region, which just makes me laugh anytime I hear it because it's ridiculous that anybody's on that, a footballer nonetheless. So, but he's on 500k a week, but not to be one of the world's best players and be a true match winner for Manchester United. He's on it to be bloody average, bang average, useless. And that's the problem when you can't put an absolute rotting piece of meat in the shop window and expect that people are going to come in and give you double the odds for it. No, even if it was a brand spanking, fresh, tasty, nice piece of meat in the shop window, people are going to be a bit hesitant about paying the double the going rate for it. But if you've got a stench-filled, bloody moth-eaten, maggot-ridden Lego lamb or something in the shop window that people can smell halfway down the road, you're definitely not going to get the money for it. Who's going to want that? That's basically what we've got in Alexis Sanchez. Alexis Sanchez is pretty much a rotting leg of lamb. That's the way I see it. I don't think anybody's coming to have that for their supper. Do you? So hopefully we do get rid of him. Hopefully somebody will come in for a bid and maybe pay him £250,000 a week, and we'll have to pay him the rest for another year or 2 or however long it is. But even that, I think, may be better, because otherwise you can have a player sticking around the club who's probably having a negative impact on the team because of what he's being paid and also the lack of contribution he probably will have to the team. I hope he proves me wrong if he stays and is a complete legend at United this season, but I doubt it, based on what's happened last year. Oh. Right, guys, I mean, I've actually got to leave. I just wanted to give you a rant. A very quick rant, get some things off my chest. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on it. If I have not read any of the comments out, any of your comments out, get them in below after this video is finished. I will respond to them in due course. But yeah, just want to say, sort your freaking lives out, United. Get the deals done. Get Fernandes in. Get Maguire in at a bare minimum. Let's sell Lukaku, generate a bit of funds. Have faith in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This man needs time. This man needs a war chest. He can't just do it overnight with no resources. Sure, we spent 70 million so far on 2 players. That is a lot of money, but it's not a huge amount of money in today's game. Not when we can generate more money by getting rid of some of these useless twats off our books. We need to give the money directly to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to strengthen, get the players in that he wants. Maguire, Fernandes, absolute minimum. That's what I think. Anyway, guys, do us a favour before you leave. Smash a like on this video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below about anything discussed in this video. Do you think the Maguire deal's realistic? Do you think it will happen? What's your transfer amount that you think it will go through for? Also, Bruno Fernandes, have we bid, have we not bid, have we bid? All these United channels talking about these bids years ago, saying done deal and all. It's all bollocks, isn't it? I've been telling you, it's all rubbish. You've got to just wait until there's a bit more concrete evidence than to just say all these players are done deals and things like that, because they're bloody not. I tell you, there's so many things that can fall down for a football club trying to sign a player, most of which for United is just the lack of actually putting in a bid. To people reporting this bid, so we haven't even put in a fucking bid for Bruno Fernandes apparently. Anyway, guys, Right, I'll see you soon. This is the Pig on Flying Pig United. Have yourselves a good one. You can follow me on social media at Mr. Flying Pig HD, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, if you so wish. You've been classy. I've been classy. Let's hope Manchester United's board could be classy and make some decent freaking moves before the start of the season. Anyway, come on, United. Sort it out. I'll see you soon. This is the Pig on Flying Pig United. Take care.